gone with the wind. All right. So every child, every human child is born with that potential research, with all its sensitivity. It's a given engine, otherwise it will die, It is so sensitive to even a minor disturbance of the body, of the sound, of the light. It is so sensitive that it can identify that figure of the so-called mother figure vis-a-vis every other figure. From a distance, from the very sound of the movement of her sari, from the movement of her bangles. That is the sensitivity of research. And it, as soon as it can talk, of course when it cannot talk, you give whatever damn thing, it will place with its own shit if you don't prevent. And so as soon as it gets a language, it goes on asking, what is this, what is that, and what is that, how is that? Of course the so-called intelligent parents give a very scientific answer. What is that? It's a TV. And intelligence, that net freewheeling intelligence of the wonderful human being quickly realizes that this world is a game of just talking about things. And it also starts talking about things. So, as real creative leader managers, you manage and lead the development of a wonderful human being. I would say that is your greatest contribution to the world. Gifting a wonderful child to the world, wonderful citizen to the world. That's what we are talking about also. Because we are trying to understand how this marvelous engine of our so-called everybody's creativity is blocked, so-called blocked by simple, right? It is not by some 550 horsepower brake applied. No. Certain simple things like a small rudiment of anxiety. Should I go to him and talk? Should I go there? There is a sound, a beautiful sound of a bird coming somewhere in the location at 2 o'clock in the night. Why don't I go and see? That is the sensitivity which you are talking about. Okay, that is at the so-called creative poetry level. I am talking about the sensitivity required for a creative manager, for a manager to become creative in his thoughts and in her dialogues and in her decisions and in her dramatic dialogues and interactions with the colleagues. The need of creating creative dialogues, at least during significant interactions, okay? Don't mistake that every day you have to do it. At critical moments, all your tools are required for critical moments only. Right? If you have all kinds of luxurious food in the world, it is not that you are always going on eating. Even it is required. As a simple model. So prepare yourself. One more point. That's why again I am telling you, when you prepare, when you are trying to self-train your sensitivities as a manager's number one requirement of creative dialoguing, you read as many beautiful fictions as possible. And as you read, reflect upon that. Why? Even, okay, you see sort of films, Don't just sit down and enjoy like which anybody can. Appreciate the precise dialogues of every character. Every one of them is written by a creative guy after definite reflections. Sometimes a script would be discussed to the maximum, of course. Have you noticed that in a film, everyone makes wonderful dialogues? Sometimes in such a way that about a recent film there was a criticism that a very illiterate kind of a central character, and I don't know, he or she is talking absolutely wonderful ideas in the film. They are all wrong configurations. We should create a character in such a way that he or she would seemingly talk like that. So when at least of course Western films, almost anyone is marvelous. Anyone. Oh, that is wonderful about the West. Take any stupid film. Of course there is no stupid film. The dialogues are marvelous. Minimum 40% of the dialogues are world-class, correct dialogue. Think. Look at the dialogue of that young painter in Titanic. When she asks, "Who are you?" Look at his dialogue when he was first time called into the upper deck affluent area, when everybody is asking him, "What are you?" And so cool he answers, "They have a cigarette and make it a day," something like that. Very marvelous. Everybody was simply shattered. Look at the critical dialogues of a guy who is trying to access the most difficult to access kind of a girl. That all normal films will not, because it is very difficult to create such a character and let us say a film. Okay, the hero is trying to love a highly competent, highly poetic, very whatever wonderful girl. The scriptwriter has to really sit down and meditate for 1 year to discover the most appropriate dialogue which will sort of convince that girl to be impressed by him. So they will have ordinary dialogues, blah blah blah, 2-3 dances and 2-3 hit and all those things. I love you, finished. So they don't go for that. So I am just giving you simple opportunities everywhere by which you can train your sensitivity. Looking at everything simple like that once in a while, as if you don't know. Because when you know, as you told, what's your name? Balram. Your available learning about this blocks you from looking at it again as if something new. Including that learning. So got a picture of sensitivity? In fact, my dear friends, all educations are in a way sensitivity training. You are now being made sensitized to the details of management in a management program. Right now I am trying to make you sensitive to the nature of sensitivity itself. I am trying to make you sensitive about the way the engine of thinking probably working. Medical training is about sensitizing the young guy to the symptoms and appearances and blood pressure and this and that and so on and so forth. Engineering training is making you sensitive about the dynamics and the statics of engines and machines and levers and all those things. Right? And reading wonderful fictions and all these things to make you sensitive about the romantic possibilities of you. Reading Upanishads and higher order descriptions about the universe is to make you sensitive about beyond visible, the larger realities or the larger realities contained in the smaller realities. Okay? So, that is sensitivity.
So I want to
and one more point, the most accepted definition of creative leadership today, which happened exactly in 1995 by two researchers in INSEAD in France, INSEAD, is marvelous. Nobody has been able to give a better definition of leadership till I made about genius leader. Okay, that's a different issue. That is about the ability to see the invisible definition of leadership printed in a Western, developed in a Western thinking and printed in Harvard Business Review and available now in the form of a book. definition of leadership is the ability to see the invisible. Rene Mabon and Shan Kim, two researchers. Comma. To hear the unspoken. Leadership. Again, comma. To derive the unique strengths of everyone. Unique strengths of everyone, which is not even known to the everyone. And so surprised that they have also included humility. That also requires your engines of sensitivity. Only sensitivity will enable you to see the invisible and hear the unspoken and to identify the unique strengths of the other person. Alright, now we can proceed.
Yes, I was talking about the job sensitivity.